everybody. This is Digs Live, and today, instead of talking to somebody that lives in a completely different country or area than we're at, I'm gonna make this a little closer. We can even be closer so people can see us.
Let's get closer.
Okay, let's get closer. Woo! Okay, that's too close. I can't see Alicia. There we go. Here.
Okay. So is this gonna be live?
Okay. Yeah, this is actually Digs Live.
Yes.
So we're live. So if you're gonna say anything, you're gonna talk smack about anybody. Just talk smack about me because I'm here and I can fight. Right? Yeah, but I've been told that I'm intimidating. I don't know why. I'm so
No, you're not. No.
Shy, bashful, timid, meek, and mild. So today we are on the show, and we have our wonderful guest Heidi Rust. She is Digs Tribe through Alicia, wonderful Alicia here. And today we're going to be talking about the idea of, should I remodel my house so I can stay there? Or should I just sell the house and buy what I really want to live in? And it's not a clear-cut answer for anybody, right? And I think that there's lots of you out there who's like, well, I've been looking for a while and I don't see any houses I'd want to buy. So maybe I should just, remodel. So, we're just going to kind of parse through some of the issues that I think people should be thinking about when they have outgrown the house that they have right now, right? So, Heidi, what's going on? What's going on with your family, with your house, the whole bit?
Well, we bought the house for the school district, of course, and it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house,
okay.
And the kids are now, 9 and 11, and they're big, and I'm quickly running out of space. And
Now, do you have a boy and a girl?
Two boys.
2 boys, so at least they're 2 boys.
Right.
Okay, but they're big, and are they starting to tussle with each other?
Yes, they are. Things
Yeah.
are being broken, and I need more space.
I got news for you. I grew up in a 2,400 square foot house. Granted, there were 5 boys, not 2, but things got broken.
Yeah.
Sometimes that broken thing was me, but we won't talk about that. Okay, all right. So you need more space, right?
Right.
Okay, great. And so give me a little bit about what you and Michael is her husband, what you and Michael were thinking about in terms of why you'd want to remodel. Why does that make sense to you?
So we want to add square footage.
Okay.
We had a couple of different ideas and ways to do it, and one was, enclosing the garage, like a lot of people here in La Crescenta do. Whether or not it'd be permitted is, at this point, not even an issue.
It'll be permitted, yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, it's all permitted.
Yeah, it's all
We're
gonna be
so legit here.
so legit. Too legit to quit. Yes.
Garage.
Okay. So right. So remodel, enclose the garage.
Right. So for like a big playroom, and I
Okay.
mean, they're going to be teenagers in a few years.
Right.
We can't all be sitting in the same living room and the same kitchen. So
That's
we need
true.
another room. We don't have
Okay.
basements like we do in the Midwest. So where are they going to go?
What's a basement? No, just never mind. Sorry. Okay. So remodeling would be great because you have the garage that you can enclose. Oh, it's still going. Yay!
Yay. Well,
Sorry
we're
about
here.
that, guys. Live. Gotta love that. Okay, so why do you think that moving to an entirely new house might be a good idea?
Okay, so, well, as they finish elementary school in 6th grade,
Right.
Anywhere in La Crescenta would put us at the same junior high or high school.
True.
So our options are a little broader. It doesn't have to just be at our elementary school at Mountain Avenue. So, and I kind of just want it like now. I'm done. I want more space. And I mean, how long? And realistically though, the fear of the remodel, like what are we getting into that we didn't see coming?
Okay. All right. Well, we'll talk a little bit about that. So the idea of remodeling, it's possible and doable because you can take up the garage, but the idea of moving is really attractive to you because it's like now.
Yes. Fresh start.
Yeah. Right. No,
I love the house. So.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So there's some benefits to staying. You like the location?
Like the location. It is on a corner. Maybe it'd be nice to be further up the mountain, a little quieter. But we do have a great yard. So kids have space outside to play. And we walk to elementary school, we walk to junior high, and they can walk to high school.
That's right, convenient, exactly. Especially if it burns off some energy while they're doing it.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. So what would need to happen for you to stay at your house? Is it just remodeling the garage?
Yes, that would probably be enough to keep me there. I mean, the kitchen needs a huge update, but not changing the footprint of it.
Okay.
So updating the kitchen, I think that's doable. The garage is a big issue. And, do we have to build a separate garage, a detached garage,
To be legal, yes.
Okay. That's easily done. We have space for it.
Okay, so we're talking you would convert the garage to a playroom,
Right.
and then you would build an additional garage and remodel your kitchen.
Right.
Would you put in another bathroom? Oh, it has 2 bathrooms,
We've
right?
got 2,
Okay.
so we'd be okay with that.
That would work. And
Yeah.
do you think that your boys would be a long-term solution for them to share a bedroom? Would that be okay?
It wouldn't be ideal, but potentially one of them could take the playroom as a bedroom, just separate that space out a little bit, and could work
Okay.
for dual purpose,
So if you did that, how long do you think you would stay in the house?
At least I'd like to stay through college, when they go
Okay.
through college. I'd like to, when they are in college, have the kind of house that they can bring their friends home to, girlfriends,
Well, you really
I
are
think.
thinking ahead. She
Maybe.
wants 4 grandchildren,
Yes. Write that down.
all of them really cute.
Yes. Alicia, we'll just set this up. She's got girls, same age.
Exactly.
Done. Okay, this is beyond my pay grade here, people. Okay, all right.
You have a pretty big lot, right? Like, do
Yeah,
you
the
know
lot
how-
is bigger than what it looks like,
Yeah,
too.
Okay.
so-
All right.
you've
So
got room
so
to
this
grow
would
over
really be kind of a long-term solution for you.
Yeah.
If you were to do it. Okay. So like, what gets in your why? Is it really pretty much the idea of you don't want to live through the whole process of remodeling?
Yes, that's a big one.
Okay.
And I'm afraid, again, that we're going to go way over budget,
Well, you
and-
will.
Yeah, of course, right? Isn't that standard?
I mean, I've done enough remodels. I can tell you without a doubt, whatever quote you get, you need to add a minimum of 50%.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
A minimum of 50%. And whatever time they tell you, so they tell you it's going to be a 3-month process, factor in 6. Okay, so double the money and double the time. And that's not me being facetious
Right.
or trying to scare you. I mean, that's just the way it is.
That's good. It's
right?
good to be open about that.
But when you know, forewarned is forearmed. It's what we do here at Diggs. It's how we keep stress levels down. We can't
great.
stop the stress, but we can manage it.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So, do you have any specific questions about how the finances work?
Right. Well, actually, I do. So all of our money, of course, like a lot of people, is tied up in our home, and we have we've got a little bit of a chunk, and we may refinance to get the ball rolling on a remodel. But in terms of buying, I feel like we would have to sell our home, live in this scary limbo, and then we buy a home, because I know the way we got our house is that's what we did. We sold our first home, and we were very attractive buyers with a down payment in our pocket, and it's a competitive market. So,
It is, yep.
So how do you do that? Like how do you sell your home, move your family into who knows where, and hope and pray that the right place, right price comes along?
That's the whole
That's
game.
what I mean by it. There's no way. It's very stressful to live through a remodel. It's also stressful to do this other thing.
Yes.
Right. So pick your poison. Okay. So finances around how you buy when you own a house. What other kinds of questions have come up while you and Michael have been debating your options?
More just like, do we want to stay within that same neighborhood, which we do, but it doesn't have to be. Again, for now, it would have to be. We would like to stay at Mountain Avenue.
Right.
So that
How many more-
really limits it.
How many more years do you have at Mountain?
But 3 more.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and you can permit. We'll stay within La Crescenta.
Right.
So hopefully
Okay.
that would work out.
So you could buy something outside of Mountain, but
Right.
still keep the kids there and finish out.
Right.
Okay.
That's doable.
So that's good. That opens things up for you.
Right.
Okay. Have you researched what it's going to cost to get the money to do a remodel?
A little bit. We've just started that. It looks like we need to talk to an architect too.
I have one for you.
Oh, I knew you would.
And a lender, finance guy.
Yeah, lender.
And that's the other thing. So I know we can do we can pull some equity out. I know we've built up, even just in the 5 years that we've been there, it's really gone up so much.
So much.
Yeah. So
La Crescenta has had the highest appreciation of really any of the neighborhoods that I track over the last 3 years. So
I'm not
congratulations.
surprised.
Fist bump. Okay, cool. So let's see. What other questions I want to ask you about that you've thought about?
Well, in terms of and I don't know if this is if this is too specific, but so do you ever work with people in this situation where I want to sell my house I want to sell my house, I want to buy another house. How can I play that shell game?
Yeah. Okay, all right. So let's go with that one first.
Okay.
Because that seems to be the most top of mind. So in order to sell your house and get into the other one, You're not going to like this answer, though. Sorry. Okay. We will work really hard so that it's seamless. And the way that we do that is that we do a lot of research on what you could buy, get really confident that you can afford the house that you want to get to, right? So and Alicia has been helping you with that already. It's kind of keeping you aware, saying, well, what about this house? What about that house? Not that you could buy it, but right? So that you feel kind of, once you kind of have that comfort level that this is a doable project, then you put your house on the market, price it really attractively so that we get somebody who wants your house so much that they will give you extra time to buy a house.
Okay.
There, right? So what it would look like is a 30-day close of escrow. We close escrow on the 30th day, and then what we call a rent back or continued occupancy for 30 days.
Okay.
Sometimes you can get more, especially if it's a cash buyer. Cash buyer doesn't have to worry about the bank rules, right?
Right.
So, but you have to have, your house has to be priced really attractively to get somebody who's not only willing to give you a good price, but also really good terms. Okay?
Right.
And it might be worth getting, a price like, let's just say your house is worth $800,000. Let's just say, right? And if you had no worries about anything, you might be able to sell it for $810 because it's so darn cute, right?
Okay.
Let's just say. It might be worth it to you to sell it for $8 to somebody who can give you 30, 45. It's not probable that you get somebody to give you 60 days, but let's just say, for the sake of grins and giggles, yeah? Okay, so that means you'd have 90 days to shop for a replacement house.
Okay.
And move, okay? There's a caveat to that. The caveat is if you haven't found something, and you're not gonna go to a house that sucks just because the 90 days are up.
Right.
You need to be prepared to go to what we call interim housing, hang out in an apartment, bunk with a friend. Oh wait, maybe not.
Sure, treehouse.
Yeah,
Treehouse looks good.
there's a treehouse. It's great. Bunk with a friend, or what have you, if you really had to, in order to avoid, right? And you need to get, when you get emotionally good with that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say this in public and on record. When you get emotionally good with that, I have yet to have one of my clients actually have to do it. Okay? It's weird how the universe works. I have a great story about my brother who never listens to me, but that's another story altogether. If you're listening, brother, you know what I'm talking about. It's my brother Eric. I tell that story all the time. But it was the idea that it's hard to take that leap of faith.
Right.
So you have to be really clear this is what you want.
Yeah.
With my brother, I said, is it an option to stay in this house long term? And he said, it's not. And I said, okay, this is what you need to do. For you, it is.
Yeah.
So it becomes a harder calculation should you do this, right?
Right, exactly.
But when my clients get to the point where it's like they've considered all the options and this is what they want to do, they're committed to it, it's really what's right for the family, and by gum, they're going to do it. I haven't had anybody actually have to go to interim housing.
That's fantastic. I have done interim housing.
It sucks.
Oh boy, it does.
It sucks. And
but it got us where we wanted to go.
It got exactly.
And I'm grateful.
Right.
Ready for the next step.
Right. Exactly. Your house is, and the other thing. This is why I'm saying that. Your situation before. Your house, you didn't know when it was going to sell.
Right.
In this particular case, we know when your house is going to sell in a red hot second.
That's true.
Right.
Different location.
Different location.
Different market.
So it's a little bit of a different sort of a thing.
Right.
So that's my thing. Now there is one way of doing this that gets you to be very, very conservative. All the eggs are in your basket, but will get you the crappiest financial deal. Okay. Yeah, that's right. You're going to pay for it one way or another.
Sure.
Okay. And that is to sell your house contingent upon finding a home of choice. All right. So what that means is that people are looking at your house. They have to be willing to buy your house, not knowing if at the end of the day you're actually going to get out.
Right.
So why would they do that? Because your house is such a great deal.
Right. That makes sense.
Right? So you're either going to pay for it there, or you're going to pay for it in the risk of having to deal with interim housing.
Right.
And the cost and inconvenience of that.
And the houses in our neighborhood, they go so fast that I wouldn't be surprised if we could get a deal like that to be, I mean, not that that's the way
It's
we want to
possible.
go. But
I've done it. I've done it.
Have you done that?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I have. It's just, I know that I won't get top dollar when we do that, but
Right.
yes, I have done it. Especially, here's where sale contingent upon finding home. If you found the home, but you can't make an offer on it until your house is in escrow,
That makes it
goes
more
really
attractive?
well.
Okay.
Yeah, that goes really well.
Okay.
I selling contingent on home trust, and I haven't even started looking. Not so good. Because the person who buys your house is probably like you, has kids to
Sure.
consider. They're not like they can't go couch surfing until you get out.
Right.
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 Yeah, these are not couch surfers.
We're all just moving our little selves around the
Right,
neighborhood.
right, exactly. And so if you did that, you definitely have, it would be more convenient because you have to live through a remodel, right? A lot of unknowns get taken away because you will know what your finances are the minute you buy that house, right? The minute you make an offer. So there's no fear of how long will it take? How much is it going to cost? Am I going to get a contractor who does crappy work?
Exactly.
Am I going to get a contractor that gets halfway down the road and then disappears? I got to tell you, contractors have relatives that can die multiple times. I've seen it personally. It's true.
Yeah,
And they also have
I've heard
more
that.
car trouble than anybody else. I don't know what it is. Although I have a couple of great contractors I could refer to.
Okay.
So,
I knew you would.
Yes. we have 2 or 3 that I love these men. They are, okay, anyway.
Great.
All right. So, and then do you think that the house that you're likely to buy, would that be in a neighborhood situation that would have more investment potential, like increase in value? I'm looking at her because she knows what you've been looking
She knows.
at.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean,
Right?
it's going to just go up, you
Yeah.
know? I mean,
Every time a house sells right now,
is
everything
that
goes
right?
up.
Everything goes
Right,
up.
yeah.
But would it go up more than the house she's in now? The neighborhoods and
we've gone up-
situations she's looking at?
We've gone up about 250,000 from what we bought 5 years ago. So that's
That's a lot.
It's a
Absolutely.
lot. So that's what makes it so attractive. Like, let's just sell it then. If
Right.
it's worth
Right.
this much. Let's go.
But the reason that I'm asking you this question is most of the time when you're selling the house that you have here and you're moving to another house, this house has superior investment value
Right.
to the one before.
Right.
So over time, over 10 years or 15 years, the amount of cash, cold hard cash, that you're going to make in appreciation will be significantly more than the cash you would make with this house.
Right.
That
I
would
see.
be a really good reason to go through the pain and suffering of
Oh,
upgrading,
okay.
right? So in terms of the neighborhood she's looking at, would it be an upgrade, more desirable neighborhoods?
Yeah.
What she's
Yeah.
in?
Because you're going to go up the hill.
Up
Right.
the hill.
As opposed to down below foothill.
bigger house,
Yeah,
more, just the little bit more, I
I
think.
mean, I'm going to get in trouble for saying this because some people will get mad at me, but there was a long time period where if you were below foothill, you were considered a lesser than. Not anymore. Right now, under foothill is like golden,
yeah,
right?
it's nice.
But for a long time, it was considered like, you live
No, below. And we're only a couple streets above, so
Yeah. Right.
to go further up and we're just away from the
Right.
traffic.
It'll just be
and noise.
quieter
Yeah.
and more
Right.
peaceful.
Right, right. Okay, all right. So that would be a reason to do it. Here's some things to think about in terms of why you should stay.
Okay.
Okay. Selling a house and buying a house, it costs money to go out and it costs money to go in, right?
Sure.
So selling your house, you're going to be looking at about 7% or so. That will include commissions and fees and taxes. It won't cover if you have a major repair that needs to
Right.
happen that gets discovered. But that's not really a cost of selling. That's stuff that you probably would repair if you stayed.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it's painful because it come out right at that time.
Right.
But doesn't it also cost money to pull the equity out of your house and remodel?
Yes, it does pull. Yeah, I mean,
That's not free either.
No.
Sounds great. 'cause
I
it's
know.
Like,
yeah,
It feels like
but
it's just sitting there, but you do have to pay
But
something.
it is a lot
Yes,
more
it costs
expensive
it.
to sell a house
Yeah.
than it is to refinance
Okay.
and get that one,
Okay.
right? And then it also costs money to buy a house, right? It costs
Right.
money. So there, it's a little bit more equality. Getting a loan to get a new mortgage it's still more expensive to get a mortgage, but that's where it gets closer.
Yeah.
Right.
In terms of and the lion's share of what it costs to get in is your loan fees.
Okay.
But there's still taxes and escrow and whatnot, so it's not
Right.
free.
Right.
Right. But yeah, so it's gonna cost more money.
Okay.
Your property taxes are probably gonna increase. Okay.
For sure.
But I'm guessing that you're younger than me, like quite a bit. So if you and your husband are still on the growing part of your income bill,
Sure.
this is something that actually sounds scary, but might be really sound financial move.
Okay.
Do you have a financial advisor that you work with?
Not really, no.
Okay, I've got one of those too.
That would be great.
I love her.
That's a good idea.
It's really, especially because you have college education to start planning
Right.
for. We started with our financial advisor before we had kids, and
Wow, you're on it.
I'm a little bit of a planny sort of a person.
No.
However, I mean, so that kind of a thing, you might want to take a look at, but it may very well be that even though it costs you more money, it's really good for your overall financial picture.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Makes
something
sense.
that's something to talk to. We'll get you the financial planner that I use.
Yes.
Let's see, property tax invested. I added. And then the other thing. So when you buy a house that's got all the extra room and whatnot, you're going to be putting, let's say, 20% down payment, right? Okay, 20% down payment, financing the rest, 80%.
Right.
Okay. When you remodel your house, yes, you're going to be getting some equity out of the house, but essentially this is cash out of your pocket that you don't get to finance.
Right.
Right now, once the remodel is done, you could refinance the entire house
Okay.
and make it into one product, right?
Okay.
But for most people out there that are not going to be using necessarily the equity in their house, this is cash out of your savings, cash out of your bank account,
Right.
cash that, and for most people, especially in your age range, but even for me as an entrepreneur, having the cash is better.
Right.
It's better to have the monthly debt.
Right.
Which you can then write off.
Then yes,
Right?
right.
Right.
You also get to write off the cost of going in and the cost of going out. By the way.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
So the
Good to
cost
know.
of selling, almost all of that is a tax write-off.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Yeah. So it factors into your capital gains and
Okay.
talk to your tax person
Yeah.
because I am not a tax person.
Right.
Right.
I'm not
So
either. So I
make
do have a
sure-
tax guy.
Yeah, so make sure you talk to your tax person and verify that for your individual tax situation,
Right.
that actually works.
That would make sense. yeah.
Right? But for a lot of people, that's actually the compelling reason to buy
Oh.
rather than to remodel.
Really? It's the write-off?
The write-offs and the increase in investment value and the fact that they're not using their cash.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Not using the cash.
Yeah. I mean, we just did that ourselves. We bought a house. We were planning to buy something and totally remodel it and do this whole thing. And an opportunity came up and we're like, you mean we don't have to take our cash and remodel it and add on to it and whatnot? And we looked at the whole calculations and went, oh yeah, better buy, not my dream house. She was laughing. Everybody in my company was laughing. I bought a house that was so non-Kendall, it wasn't even funny. And it is perfect. I love this house so hard, it's not even
That's
funny.
great.
I know, right?
It's so
because it's like, and you'll find this, you're not going to find a house that's as perfect as what you would probably make your house now and remodeled.
Ah.
Okay, it's not.
That's
'cause
interesting, though.
right? Because when you remodel it, you get to plan every little detail,
Right.
and it's just you're only limited by your budget, right? When you buy a house, you're going to be looking for something that's 85% of what you want.
That's a good way to think of it.
Okay, but it will be 85% of what you want.
Right.
And what I discovered is what you think you want, you'll get into it and you'll realize actually,
Yeah.
this thing that I didn't think I wanted, it's perfect.
That's what just happened with us.
And
this
that's what
house.
happened right with you, and
Yeah.
that's what happened with me on this
We-
house.
We passed on it
Exactly.
at first, and then they
Exactly.
called us back.
So
and yeah,
you know,
it's been
I mean, the good news is you have options. The bad news is you have options. I mean, it really is because
Right.
it's not obvious. And I said this to you when we were last talking.
Right.
You could go either way, right?
Yeah.
So I really think that what you need to concentrate on, besides the homework that I told you to do, talk to a financial planner, find out how much it's going to cost to get the equity, and will you be able to get enough to do what you want to do?
Right.
Right?
That's a
Right.
big one.
Will you get enough to do what you want to do? But what I think you really need to think about most of all is how much is that convenience worth it to you. That is so individual,
Yeah.
right? My husband and I, we love fixing things up. We can live through absolutely unreasonable chaos for long periods of time, and it doesn't bother us. But that's not the case for everybody. So if you and I've seen marriages break apart because I have.
We just remodeled our bathroom over the Thanksgiving break, and we get along really well. We remodeled our Victorian house in the city.
That's right,
before we
you
sold
did.
it.
Yeah.
So that's all. But the Victorian house was really remodeling. That was before kids. I mean, so we're busier now. We're not in our 20s, and
Right,
you know. So, but we did do the bathroom ourselves, and I'm pleased to say that it went very well between us.
That's
so
awesome.
We do like a project,
So
but you know,
An entire house, though.
I know. It's a
Well, you
big
can break
project.
if you decide to do that, you could break it up into phases.
Yeah,
Right.
It doesn't have to be all
I think
at once.
that's like, well, I think this is kind of getting our feet wet. Like, okay,
Yeah.
we'll do this little bathroom job and see.
See how it goes. Oh, we didn't kill each other. Score! It's like that deserves a high five.
Yes.
Oh no, I have germs. Okay, so, anyway, so for those of you who are listening, if you have questions about whether or not you should remodel and stay where you are, or if it's better to sell your house and get into it, go ahead and put questions down below. If you're seeing this on a replay, which most of you will, go ahead and put those questions down below. We'll see them and I will get you answers. If you would like the resources that I have mentioned to Heidi, I can definitely get that to you too. Again, just drop a comment down below and we'll get you a list of all of our best resources that help you plan this out. But having a great expert in your corner, Alicia being the expert for Heidi,
Right.
it's worth its weight past gold. It really is, because the stress of doing things and making mistakes along the way, no bueno. No bueno. No bueno. Is there any other questions you have for me before we sign off?
No, I think you answered a lot of them, and you answered questions I didn't know I needed to ask. So I thank you for that.
That's kind of my thing. Is there anything that you want to add to this process that you know about Heidi that she should have asked?
I don't think so. I think we
Okay.
covered it.
So
Yeah.
she wasn't, I was going to say a dumbass, but that would not be nice, so I didn't say that.
I wouldn't
No,
mind.
I'm gonna
It's
edit
okay.
that out. So she's got all
She's
around.
thought about this
Okay.
a lot.
Yeah.
And Michael, too.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
seem like you're detailed people. That
Yeah.
will help you. It will
Yeah.
help you a lot.
Right.
So good on you. All right, guys, this has been Diggs Live. This is Heidi, this is Alicia, and I'm Kendall. Questions, put them in the front. Thanks, guys. See you later. Bye.